Hey, welcome to Countdown to Outbound. I'm Mark Hunter, the sales hunter. I've got a cup of coffee, and hey, we have in the show with us this morning. Well, who do we have? We have none other than Darrell Amy. There he is. There's a little sneak peek. But hey, don't talk too much now because we really got to do the formal introduction for you. And that is really about your book and what you're going to be talking about at Outbound. So, hey, we'll get Darrell up and running here in just a second. But hey, let's run a little video clip, shall we? Okay, Darrell, now you can wave to the crowd. You can say good morning. How you doing?
Fantastic, Mark. It's great to be here. How are you?
I am doing terrific. It is Friday morning, countdown to Outbound. And
that's right.
One of your compatriots was on the other day, Larry Levine.
Yes.
And he's marginally a good guy.
I think he is marginally a fantastic guy. And he is, I can't wait to see Selling from the Heart at Outbound and the stuff that I've got a little behind the scenes window into what he's prepared. And it is going to be fantastic.
That's good. That's good. But hey, let's talk about you. Let's talk about how do people, because you wrote the book, you got it right behind you, the revenue growth engine. How do people really maximize growth? How do they maximize revenue?
Yeah. It begins by, just remembering why we do what we do, and I've had one foot in the sales world for 27 years, started straight out of college into B2B sales and been involved in that and sales development the whole for almost 3 decades now. And then got tricked into getting into the marketing world about 17 years ago and have been on this journey of being a partner in a marketing agency with all the digital marketing, all the fun stuff. But what I've noticed in both of these worlds, and this is something so critical for us to remember right now, is that the end goal of all of this is revenue. I mean, we're driving revenue, and there's only 2 ways to drive revenue. The challenge is most of us are good at one or the other. And this is what we want to talk about at Outbound, which is exponential revenue growth that happens when you get both of these 2 ways aligned. That's net new business. Yes, we want to get new logos, ring the bell, and celebrate. But as you like to say, you don't close a deal, you open a relationship. So the second source of revenue, which is low-hanging fruit for most sales teams, is what happens after that first deal? What's the cross-sell, upsell? Wallet share side of things. We get both of those going and get both sales and marketing aimed at net new and cross sell. Great things start happening, and we need that right now.
Well, it's what I like to call land and expand.
That's right.
Sale and expand on it. But hey, there's something very interesting because sales and marketing. Let's not kid ourselves. The reason we have 2 different departments is so each department has someone else to blame.
That's right. We can point fingers back and forth.
Drop the mic on that one, right? I mean, come on. I mean, I spent years in sales in corporate America, and I also spent a number of years in marketing. Mm-hmm. And it was very funny how when I was in sales, we always blamed marketing, and when I was in marketing, we always blamed sales. So, is that dance ever going to end?
Well, here's what I say: probably not, but. Here's what I say. Look, because with salespeople, we always want to go to marketing. You're not giving enough leads, and marketing gives us more leads, and then we go, these leads are crap, right? Here's what I say.
Nobody's ever said that before. I mean,
no. And so that's the finger pointing, right? Back and forth. You're not giving us leads. These leads are crap. All of that stuff. I say, stop it, because here's the deal. When you know who your ideal client profile is, and I see you're going to be talking about that at Outbound, which I'm excited about. When you know your ideal client profile, you know what an ideal target looks like. And for those of us in B2B sales, now we've got target accounts. So I say, stop asking for leads. You already know who your leads are. Start engaging with your target accounts. And that's why when we look at the revenue growth engine, and I'll be talking about that in a virtual session, the revenue growth engine has on net new outbound sales, but complementary to that is outbound marketing. So rather than waiting for some magical fish to swim by or a unicorn to pop up, we already know who our target accounts are. let's go after them.
Okay, so let's ask the tough question. Is it the number of leads that matters?
I don't even know if it's leads, Mark. And what I mean by that.
Hold it. Back up the train there. Beep, 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 beep. You said, what was that you said?
I don't think it's leads. Here's what I mean by that. If you know who your ideal client profile is, you know who your ideal targets are, you know who those people are. I know Mark Hunter is an ideal prospect for me. So do I need a lead? No, I already know who he is. What I need is engagement. And what I need is intelligence on what's going on with Mark Hunter. And then I can work on that as a sales professional in concert with my marketing team. And, this marketing side of this, we call this account-based marketing. We're using that term more and more in sales. But the idea is figure out who your target clients are and go after them. One side from sales, one side from marketing. Stop this whole thing of, I got a lead, Now, granted, if one of your target prospects swims past your website and downloads something or, raises their hand, a big spinning red light should come on and all of that. We got an engagement. Yeah, that's great. But I don't need to know who my leads are. I'm choosing who my leads are, and I'm going to go after them.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard from Darrell Amy as he has broken every rule of marketing with what he just said. Now, let it be known that this was given on May 7th, 9:07 Central Time. The marketing world has been reset.
I don't think so exactly. Now, look at this.
Don't backpedal.
No, I'm not backing down. I'm not backing off for a second. Now, if you're selling...
I'm liking what you're saying. I really am.
Yeah. Here's the deal, Mark. If you're in B2C, let's say you're selling roofing in Omaha or Dallas, Fort Worth, you need leads. You need, there's hundreds of thousands.
No, you don't. You just need a hailstorm. That's all.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Hailstorm would be good. If you're selling roofing or plumbing or whatever. But if you're in B2B, let's say you're selling a software service or you're selling accounting service or you're selling technology, whatever you're selling in B2B. Once you know who your ideal client is, you then know who your ideal prospect is. Get the list. Now you already have your leads. So there is rule number one to stop the finger pointing between sales and marketing. Now it's not measured. How many leads are you giving me? What we're measuring is, okay, we've got 5,000 target accounts. What type of engagement are we driving through marketing? And what kind of coverage are we getting with our sales team? So now we can measure that, right? And if I've got 5,000 target accounts, I want 100% coverage, which whatever that criteria you decide from a sales standpoint is, I want them to hear from our sales team. There's 4 core decision makers. I want each one of those decision makers to hear from our sales team once a quarter. That's your standard. You measure coverage against that. Same thing with marketing. I've got 5,000 target accounts with 4 core decision makers. Now I know I've got 5 times 4. That's 20,000 people that I need to engage with. And so I'm going to measure my marketing success by what level of engagement those 20,000 people have with my company. So leads, 2008. Today, engagement. And this is where, if you're in enterprise, you're probably already doing this, right? In enterprise, account-based marketing is becoming the way to do things. But when you get down like right below enterprise, I think so many of us are still waiting for these magical leads to swim by. And we're looking for marketing to be this unicorn that, poops out hot opportunities. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be some people that swim by, but you can't build your business on hope. Hope's not a strategy. What is a strategy is identifying your target prospects and getting sales and marketing both pointed at them with a process to engage.
From this day forward, hashtag it's not the leads.
I love it. I love it. See, you got Larry on the hashtag no more empty suits 2 years ago. I was there.
Well, I did because again, that's but I tell you what, hashtag it's not about the leads.
No more leads.
No more leads. I tell you what, see, this is something that has driven me nuts. And again, I get into this. We see so many salespeople. What they do is they have a pipeline. I talk about this a lot. Is your pipeline a sewer pipe or a water tap? And too many salespeople it's a sewer pipe because it's plugged up with leads that aren't going anywhere. How can you generate more revenue? How can you generate more revenue if all you're doing is trying to claw through the garbage that's in the sewer pipe?
Well, and let's take a look at a company. Let's say you've got, 1,000 leads that come into your website. For the marketing folks listening in and those who manage marketing teams, save 1,000 leads coming in, or 1,000, we'll call them downloads, or we'll call them leads. That's fine. But what I want to do, like my pool has a filter in it, so the garbage doesn't get through. Right? I want to filter out the garbage. So I want to. If 1,000 people come to my website, that's wonderful. But what I really care about is who are the ones that are my ideal targets. Right? Because then I got an engagement. Now we can count that towards what we're really aiming for was 100% engagement with our target clients. The rest of it, it's nice. But when that ideal prospect comes to the website, once again, the bell starts, the siren starts going, the red light, ideal prospect. And that's why we got to get out of this mindset in marketing of, I gave you 1,000 leads. No, I want engagement with my ideal prospects, and let's cooperate, sales and marketing together, to engage our ideal prospects. And when we do, great things happen. Will other stuff swim by that we can close deals on? Of course, absolutely. But when it comes to growing our business, we need ideal prospects. And here's how I define an ideal prospect, Mark. An ideal prospect or an ideal client is someone that can buy everything that you sell. So I want a client, if you were buying an investment right now, and I had 2 investment opportunities in front of you. And in investment world, we talk about yield, right? One had a yield of 2%, and the other investment had same risk level and had a yield of 10%. Which would you pick? You'd pick the higher yield, right? Well, clients have yields as well. Ideal client that can buy everything that you sell is worth a lot of money. Like if you look, and we do this, we'll do this in the workshop. We'll have you add up the 10-year value of an ideal client if they bought everything that you can sell. And here's what we find over and over and over again. We just did this at the EOS conference last week with a room full of people. By the way, people are coming to conferences and it's awesome. I had a great time at a live conference last week. It was fantastic. So I can't wait to be at OutBound. But here's what we did. We added up the 10-year value of an ideal prospect. And everyone's eyes start getting really big when you just start penciling this out, because you realize that if someone buys everything that you sell, the initial deal, it's usually just a small percentage of the opportunity. And this is where, a lot of times the ideal prospects and clients are worth 20 to 30 times the value of an average client. And so this is where we want to identify those people, bring them in, but this is where we drop the ball in sales a lot. And this is where your revenue growth engine in most companies has missing cylinders, or, we've all gotten in our car or seen a vehicle that's not firing on all cylinders, right? It may sputter down the road, but you need your revenue growth engine firing on all cylinders. And the cylinder that's missing in most sales teams is not outbound prospecting, it's client management. So what happens after the first sale? And once again, you say it, I quote you all the time, Mark, you don't close a sale, you open a relationship. So what are your client management strategies with your ideal clients? Now, keep in mind, the 80-20 rule, we all know good old Pareto, the Italian economist that said 20% of the clients yield 80% of the results. As sales teams, we need to know who those 20% are, right? And then we need to take really good care of them. The other 80%, we may not have time, but those 20%, we need, a brilliant onboarding strategy. We need consistent periodic business reviews, meaningful business reviews. I could talk about that for the next hour and a half. And we need strategies from a sales side and a marketing side. Why, by the way, marketing's job's not done when someone signs a deal. It's just beginning. So we need to look at those top 20% of clients and go, not only do we get them in the door, what do we do to cross-sell them? And in our workshop on how to align sales and marketing to build a revenue growth engine, which will be a virtual workshop, I'm going to outline all of the core components of a revenue growth engine, a sales team and a marketing team that are working together and firing on all cylinders to drive exponential growth. So that, it's a tease here today because we only have a few minutes. I get fired up about this stuff, Mark, but the reality is, when we focus on ideal clients, we get the type of clients that can buy everything that we sell. And then we need to put the processes in place to sell them everything that they can buy. So this is, yeah.
Wow. You have said so much there. And of course, we got to remind people, if you buy the live ticket, you also get access to all the virtual events that happened before, because the virtual begins on the 13th, runs through the 18th. The in-person part is the 15th through the 18th. So don't think, oh, wow, if I buy the live piece, I'm not going to be, no, you're going to get everything there. Hey, you mentioned several things, but I'm a little bit hung up on, you were talking about your pool. Now, you weren't talking about your neighbor's pool. You were talking about your pool.
Yes.
So okay, we'll put that aside. But here's something interesting. The 1,000 downloads. Here's what I refer to downloads. Those are people who are either bored or they're soon to be unemployed or they are unemployed. Okay. So many times when people download, this drives me crazy. I mean, I've got ebooks on we've got stuff that you can download, and let's not kid ourselves. The vast majority of people who are download, they're not going to be major, I sell keynote speaking. They're not going to, Mark, would you come over to my bedroom and deliver a keynote speech? No, that's not going to happen.
I might disagree with you on some of that, but in theory, I agree with you.
See, this is the marketing in you coming out. This is the marketing. See,
I know. And this is where we need.
Hold it.
Okay,
now,
hear it.
This is my show. Now you are what is it? Oh, beat?
Quote Jim Collins.
Excuse me. Let's just drop.
I'm going to pull out the Jim Collins trump card here, Mark.
I will quote Mark Hunter. How's that sound? Okay, there you go, man. Hey, I can trump you on a book. Okay.
All right, fair enough. Let me add it, Mark. Let me have it. This is so much fun.
No, this is great because see, you're really revealing your true marketing colors. This is yeah. See, this is at the end of the day, you distrust us salespeople. You really distrust us.
Look, I am a recovering sales rep. I'm down to therapy twice a month, Mark. It's going really well. And you need to, I'm a weird person. I've had, my wife and friends tell me that, but thank you, David. I hope you're having as much fun as we are, but hold
it. You're having fun. I'm like agonizing.
I'm about to pull Jim Collins out on you here. But, no, I've had this weird career where I have been in sales and I was trained hardcore. I started selling copy machines. And I mean, it was, bright lights were flashed in our face. We memorized Tom Hopkins and Zig Ziglar and all those great guys, right? And by the way, Tom Hopkins is kicking off the Client Appreciation Challenge coming up on the 17th through the 21st. And thanks for Outbound for cheering us on that. Larry and I are kicking that off. ClientAppreciationChallenge.com. Tom Hopkins, there's great stuff. So I've been in sales. I love sales. I've books, shelves full of sales books. I'm still doing sales training and development, but I also got pulled on this journey. So here's how it happened, Mark. In 2004, I started a sales training company. My very first client said, Darrell, everything you taught my sales team was fantastic. And our website doesn't say anything about it. Do you build websites? So hey, it was my first client. I'm an entrepreneur. I said, yes, sir. We build websites.
No, what you are is easily distracted. Squirrel.
Oh, no, I'm busted. So I spun up this marketing company. And so it's been really interesting being like right in the middle of this. So, when we talk about finger pointing, I'm conflicted sometimes, Mark, but this, I sit in the middle of this, but what Jim Collins was saying this morning, and I pull up the Jim Collins, love this book. By the way, if you want to drive great business conversation, if you're in B2B, just pick up Jim Collins' new book. It's dynamite, full of stuff. And when you're talking to Mark Hunter, Jim Collins in the chapter I read this morning said, it's not either or, it's and the best business minds say and I think we've got to look in marketing and go, or we got to look at salespeople over to our friends in marketing and go, it is. And now there's, I know the finger pointing and the marketing people have promised that the buyers are all online and, are their decisions made long before. I disagree strongly with that. I disagree from the standpoint of most B2B sales reps' job is to create demand, not satisfy it. And marketing too, by the way, is there to create demand. So we're working together, we're not waiting for someone to have a problem necessarily, although that's nice. But for every person that has a problem and either calls their salesperson or hits the website, there's 24 people who have the same problem. It's just what Keith Eads in the new solution selling calls a latent problem. And our job is to bring that to the surface. And so, hey, look, someone surfs through LinkedIn and sees a white paper. Good for them. They download it. And do they read them all? Of course not. But it sits on their desk sometimes and it reminds them. And so I would say this all plays a role. Like marketing is building credibility and thought leadership. We just need to I think a lot of us, we just need to be a little more humble and realize marketing people, we're not the saviors of the world. We're a part of a team, and salespeople, we're a part of a team as well. And, but all these things need to be firing when we get all the cylinders of the engine firing. I think everyone's angry at each other because they're like, why are we not moving faster? It's your fault. It's your fault. Well, maybe there's just big pieces of your revenue growth engine missing. And maybe if you put those in place and the engine started humming, y'all could get in the car, drive down the road and get where you're going faster and enjoy the trip.
There you go. Hey, we got to wrap this up. You said marketing is not to save the world. Salespeople are out to save the world, and that's why that's why they are going to be at Outbound. Right?
That's right, and
we will have a therapy session for you there. This recovering marketing person. So anyway, hey, stick around for the after the show. But hey, we gotta hit the video and be out of here. Hey, that was fun. That was a good time.
I had a good time. That was great.
Yeah. No, you really.
Thanks for the new hashtag, by the way. That's
there you go. See,
that's good.
My job is to help everyone out. That because I'm in sales.
You're savior of the world.
I am. I am out to save the world. I will bring world peace by noon today.
Good.
And I'll stop world hunger and take care of COVID-19, 20 and 21. See, I'm actually working ahead. So all we're working on
be proactive.
19. I'm jumping ahead to 20 and 21. So anyway,
this is a fun conversation though. I love the pushback and the banter, and this whole thing about like that moment. I don't know that moment when I realized it was as I was writing the book. I'm like, Mark, we don't need leads. We already know who the leads are. This whole thing.
I wanted to push back a lot more, but you wouldn't let me in the conversation.
I got fired up, Mark.
I know you did.
It happens. They don't let me out often.
Anyway, hey, we are really over our limit now.
Uh-oh.
So, but hey, I'm glad you got the pool working. I'm glad you have a good filter system in there.
Thank you. I'm a Canadian. I live in the South. You got to have a swimming pool. It's so hot down here.
That's right. I forgot that you're a Canadian, but you came across the border long before COVID-19. So
that is true.
Because you kind of ran into an American woman that you married, right?
I married a sweet Southern girl, and
American Woman. Oh, what was that song? What was that song? American Woman. Oh, man.
That's right.
Okay, you're listening to the Mighty 95 Countdown to Outbound. Okay. Hey, we got to run. Okay, I will see you at Outbound in a few.
It's going to be a blast.
You bet. Take care.
Thank you, Mark.